KC.
What's up, boo?
We're back.
We're back.
Again.
Every
time we have a show, we're back. Isn't that fucking
We are
amazing?
always back, but we have some fun people here today.
We have a fun topic, too, don't we?
A very fun topic where we're going to actually talk about the pussification of the kitchen and the restaurant industry.
Pussification. Look that up.
Yeah.
I made that up. It's a new word tonight. John Mannino right here. Clint Compton in the house.
Yes.
Compton. So what we got is this, man. Me and John have worked a long time ago. Clint and I met quite a while ago. Both CIA graduates, correct?
Correct.
Before I even go any further, let me explain something to all y'all.
Oh, God.
Okay? This is great. And fucking John, matter of fact, I know me, we didn't even have gray hair, bro. You got gray. I'm looking at your gray-ass hair. What the fuck?
We had hair on our heads.
Oh,
Yeah, you did have hair.
It's starting.
we told him to wear a hat because he's hurting our feelings. Put a hat on, will you? Anyway, so what this is about, man, is this. So, John, me and you go way back. We cooked in La Bella Italia a long time ago. One of my mentors, Anna, didn't know she was a mentor at the time, for me anyhow. She was a single mother with one of the best restaurants in town that nobody really understood at that time frame. This was early 90s, mid-90s.
It was late 90s.
Late 90s, yeah.
90s regardless is early, late, whatever the fuck it is. It was the 90s. Christ. Yeah. So we were working, and your father was cooking, and I learned a lot from your father. And one of them was how to really motherfuck somebody. You know what I mean? With words. He was
legend.
Awesome. Legend.
Yeah.
You ever heard his father go off on somebody? He had a word he made up. It was called, can I say it? It's Italian gibber, and I love it. Statafungiats. One time he was so fucking mad, he goes, statafungiats. What is that?
It's not a word.
But it is, though.
To him, it's a word.
Fucking right.
To him, it's a word.
And what matters more than that? Nothing.
I have to call him and get the
Bro,
definition.
he was like, I didn't got time to be making all this statafungiats. Huh? I fucking love it. So now that's a word I still use. I love your old man, bro. Here, let's
He
do
is
one for your old man.
awesome.
Come on.
Cheers.
Before we get into this, let's do one. This is, I got tequila. What do you got? You got tequila? You got some?
I got vodka.
Vodka.
All right.
Someone's got to do it.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
All right, so anyway, we started working out. I mean, we started working at the bottom of the barrel. You come out of school, everyone gets together, we start doing. I didn't have that. I was just fucking charging, full charge. We were sending it, right, back in the day. Where were you working back in that time? And I know you have a really extensive history, too, here.
Big Sam's.
Big Sam's.
Oh, wow.
For anyone who doesn't know, you're going to be watching this podcast from all over the place or listening to it from everywhere. Big Sam's in Virginia Beach is a local fucking tiny little place, but if you're anybody who's anybody in Virginia Beach, the surfing scene, the beach, the fishing scene, that's where you go. It's still to today. They're still serving breakfast on paper plates, and it's still fucking hits, and it's still fucking good.
Still good.
So Big Sam's back in the day was like I would say that was one of the more Virginia Beach local places to go get what's indigenous to our area, which would be what, Clint? What would you consider indigenous to Virginia Beach as far as food?
Oysters, crab cakes, fresh seafood. I think that's really what we were doing.
The pepper seared ahi tuna, the mahi,
Absolutely.
right? The
black and tuna, black and
mango
mahi.
chutney, the black and this, black and that, and then all of a sudden
back to the 90s.
taking it back to the 90s, and then when that got played out a little bit, we turned it into a taco. Is that right? We kind of put it in a taco, fucking pita shell, whatever we did. So it just kept on growing, right?
Yeah.
So, then you're doing then from there, came back out of the taco. Now we're putting pickled vegetables on the same ahi tuna. The Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads, Virginia food is what it is. And it is good in its own right, man. It's good. It's the seafood is what it is. John, what about yourself? So you started at Big Sam's. You guys worked there together, huh?
Yeah, that's where I actually met John.
Big Sam's was the first restaurant I actually cooked at. I washed dishes at a couple places before, but Big Sam's actually was on at 16.
And you didn't
Right before you got there. Right before me.
And you couldn't fucking cook there unless you washed dishes first, right? You don't just go there and cook.
Oh, we didn't have dishwashers. We got a 3-compartment sink, no no machine, and you wash your own dishes. You wash your own pans, your own plates, everything.
You're hearing this, Sony. You're hearing this. This is live and direct right here.
There was no person.
This is real.
Yeah.
If you were washing dishes, you were cooking.
Yeah.
Correct. So I started out the same fucking way. You start washing dishes, and then you get out of the dishes from the fucking pots, and then you move into the dishwasher. When you're lucky enough, you get to spray. When you're really lucky enough, you get to fucking just scrape. It depends how big the kitchen. Yeah, right? So then you move your way up the ranks, typically to fry. Everybody knows that. We're fry guys sick. Clint, come on up to fry, right?
Yeah.
So you start frying. Next thing you know, you start doing good at fry. You think you're a motherfucking chef, and they just think they're going to feed you like, oh, you're doing wonderful. So that way you can do fry tomorrow too. And then you keep coming in doing fry. Now fucking 4 years pass, and you're still the fry guy at the same wage as a dishwasher, right? And then you move to where after that, bro? The grill.
Oh, you move to the grill or salads? Depends on.
Well, it depends on the restaurant. Typically the rest. So but maybe sometimes you even go to salads before the grill. Depends on that, right? Depends on the restaurant. Fuck. Basically, what we're getting at is, man, nobody got a free ride in this fucking room. No. Nobody got a free ride here. So when we started out, man, I look at what's going on in the industry today, right? And I've heard all kinds of different fucking ways and why it is the way it is. We're successful in our own rights. Restaurant owner, successful. Okay, every time there's an Italian fucking question out there, it's Mannino's Luce. Mannino's Luce. I'm like, fucking John did it again. Good for him. Right? I'm happy because where do I go? Mannino. So I don't give a fuck. I keep rolling.
And I come here.
Same with you. Hearth. Look at this shit.
All the time.
Huh? One of my favorite fitting shirts. My schmedium.
Schmedium.
Right, man.
So schmedium.
Right? God, makes that tequila look good.
Looks good though.
So, but you know, so basically, we have some really we're three guys sitting here chopping it up with that all started, but we already fucking just brought out of you in the dish pit, right?
Yeah.
So, I know now this day and age, it's very hard to be successful in this because we have so many fucking challenges. We got people battling us on every fucking level, social media, which we'll get to. But what about all the fucking? Let's talk about the name of the episode, pussification. And the reason I call it that is because there's so many fucking pussies now in the world. And I'm sorry if you don't like that. That's just the way the fuck it is. Because when you know what we came from and where we came from in this industry, that's what it seems to me. Okay? You never wash dishes. There's cooks that are coming in here now that's never even washed dishes or sat on fry, and they want top quality, top this, top that. And not only that, when you do over 3 or 4 months, they want to leave you because they can go do their own now pop-up. Tell me about a pop-up. What you think about a pop-up?
You know, I can support a pop-up, but, you know, because I like to do, I've kind of actually gone towards the private side of things, so I'm doing that. But, you know, a pop-up is good if you're trying to establish yourself. I don't have anything against it. My thing is, if you don't have the experience, if you don't have the knowledge, and all of a sudden you're
that's right. That's exactly right. What do you think about that, John?
I think it could be greater. It could be a clusterfuck.
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing, don't fuck with it.
Right. And
So backward for those that may not know what the lingo is. Can you try to give the audience what a pop-up is?
yeah, we'll. Yep. Still there?
No, pop-up.
Pop-up. Pop-up.
It's not.
All right,
no.
so
Not that kind of
that's not that kind
not
of
that
party.
kind of party. No.
Not that kind of pop-up.
Not on that party.
Pop right up.
You get tequila right now.
Okay, so back to this pop-up thing. Now, when you have the pop-up thing, to me, this is what it is, okay? You have a pop-up for different reasons. One, what you said, you're trying to make a name for yourself, okay? The reason I have a problem with a pop-up is when a chef or a wannabe chef or a chef coming up, an intern, whatever you want to call it, wants to be recognized. They want their own palate to be fucking recognized. So they forget everything they're doing and they go have this pop-up. And that's where they want to get their steam. That's where they want to get ahead. How does that affect us? A lot. Because we're not a pop-up. When you go and do your private stuff, right? You go and do your private stuff based off of your experience, your time, your name, the name that your team helped you build, the team that's back at your restaurant continuing it on. Absolutely. You're going not to do a pop-up, but you're going to do a privately sanctioned event that people trust they can hire you to do.
Sure.
The pop-up thing for me sucks for me because you see these fucking chefs or these wannabe chefs go do it because they're more concerned about what they don't know going on a plate than learning what they need to know to really make a pop-up turn into reality. There's such a fucking fantasy land when it comes to some pop-ups. And I'm not saying all of them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all of them. I'm talking about what the trend is. Let's talk about the trend. And the trend kills us because as chefs coming up, we lose mentor. We can't mentor mentorees. We can't find these people because they're off popping up, right? And they're popping up. And when they're off popping up, we're not popping at all because we got to figure out how the fuck we're going to run the kitchen because they're off in a pop-up. That really 9 times out of 10 is just satisfying their little craving to be recognized like we are. Am I wrong in saying this, man? I need some guidance.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's kind of good that they can go do the little pop-up and then all of a sudden it's a clusterfuck like John
Have you
said.
done a pop-up?
I've never done a pop-up.
I don't know. No,
I've never done a pop-up. I've never been to a pop-up.
I've popped up with a couple
You've
people.
popped up a couple
Hey, I love it. It popped up. I've been known to pop up here and there. Whatever.
So no, I think it, it can be good because I think it puts someone in their place, someone who doesn't have the experience.
That's a good point.
You know what
too.
I mean? Someone who doesn't have experience and says, okay, I'm going to go out and do this. Who's
Oh shit! I never looked at it like that. So
who's not organized, who doesn't really understand how to do it.
Does it ruin their career? I mean, if they're just getting off the level.
only if they're not. I believe it does if they don't belong in it.
Right.
Because we've all had a problem. We've all had a fucking career, a possible career ruining moment. We wouldn't be where we were if we didn't.
Right.
So if that is like Clint said, that's a whole nother viewpoint, man, that I was looking for. I'm glad you brought that up because fucking I was really hating pop-ups before this. But I'm serious. I don't like it because I think it's people getting their instant gratification. They want instant fame.
Yeah.
They want the recognition without the work. And that fucking sucks for someone who put in all the work.
I think it matters to the person who's doing the pop-up.
Am I jealous if they're successful?
I don't know.
Is that it, John? Maybe I'm fucking. Maybe there's a little slight bit of envy because I did put in all the fucking work, and maybe I didn't fucking have to. Maybe I could have just had a goddamn pop up. Kristen,
Could have had a pop
Well,
up.
I don't think a pop-up is going to get you anywhere.
you don't think so?
I don't think it's going to get you. It may get you a little bit of recognition, but I don't think it's really going to get you anywhere.
I didn't know I was going to be. This is a moment of zen. I didn't realize, Kristen, I was going to be getting hit with this.
Could have had a pop
Clint
up.
came from Compton with this one.
I know. Straight out of Compton.
So the thing is this, man. We got. You're right. So you said it. Is it a clusterfuck? Perfect, man. You're right. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end that topic there, and I'm gonna fucking think about this. This is wonderful. Sony, you hear that? You hear what they said? You didn't know what a pop up was.
Well,
what do you feel about
one last thing with the pop-up? I think if you could go into it as a young chef and you get your ass handed to you, you don't understand what's going on, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh shit. Well, maybe you can learn from that and say, okay, this is what I need to be a better chef. This is what I need.
Or go back to the restaurant, respect your chef because he figured it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
You're jumping into the catering game and you want to try to develop a clientele and you're good at the shit, then maybe a pop-up would work for you. For
Yeah.
me, it's not my thing. I'm going to develop restaurants. I'm a restaurant chef.
that's a restaurateur. Yeah.
That's what I do.
So maybe that's another good point, John. Maybe I'm looking at it through those eyes. I have a huge passion for the total package. You know what I mean? And total packages revolves around being a chef and making good food.
Well, a pop-up's not going to get you anywhere. You know, as far as being the businessman and making money, it's not going to get you anywhere.
Might make $10, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's good for your name.
Right.
Yeah.
Say, because I know it's different in different industries, but when I'm listening to Ovi's talk, what I've included in this industry, there's not like let's figure out a pathway so you can do it at the level of how.
Yeah, there's no fast track.
I think people want to get it, but maybe doing a pop-up saying, okay, this is going to push you into the
Notoriety.
next level, but it's not. People go, oh yeah, it was pretty good, and then they're going to, unless you got a restaurant, unless you got a space for them to come, they're not going to follow you around and do pop-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what we did, to answer you, Sonny, what we did is we take a long time of doing it right and not doing it wrong. It's that you go to a pop-up and just do it right once or two times, it's not going to do nothing. But we have a lot of years combined of not doing of doing it right and not wrong. It's more about not doing it wrong. We learned how to not do it wrong. You don't learn that in a pop-up. In a pop-up, you're typically just doing it right. Everything's set out perfectly. You have this, and this.
and
Everyone tells you how great it is.
Yeah.
You got your little fucking art over there. You got your little buddy over here with his little fucking ukulele or whatever the fuck show you. You know what I mean? It's all a fantasy world, right? But when you do that every single fucking day, man, it's not going to be a pop-up anymore. It becomes reality. And are you good enough to carry out that reality? That's the question.
So that's
Yeah, exactly.
technical word is what in the pop-ups or like Android phone and the other apps.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Android versus Apple.
Are we apples?
I didn't know we were OGs.
You're an
until
apple,
he just
John.
told me.
You got beard is fucking great, bro.
know where-
Forget about it.
Next,
I'm 50
I'm gonna get
this
you
year.
just for
Fucking
men
kidding
now
me?
when I get home because I'm
Just for men.
Add that and a blue chew. The fucking blue chew, baby. So,
funny.
There's your pop-up.
Max, you know what that is?
hell yeah, you got Instagram, don't you?
Yeah.
Shit.
I knew about those 10 years ago.
Did you?
Right.
Man,
You're younger than us.
Yeah, well, I like the ladies.
they do. And they like me, huh? And I like the ladies, and they like me.
Oh my God.
That's great. So, part of the pussification, though, to me, is that it's the fast track, like Sony said back there. The people want a fast track. You look at all the things that are going on right now. I look at what we did. Did we have to deal with a lot of the shit we dealt with? No. Do I still work under that mentality? Yes. Could I have done what I'm doing today without it? No. Period. Period. Because competition is fierce. It's a motherfucker. And when people are competitive, meaning your competition, you could be friends all day long. But if we go into a chef show or a chef contest, don't tell me for a minute you don't want to look better than the other guy. Right?
Yeah.
Or at least on the same fucking plane. Okay? You want to be on the same playing field.
I'm coming for you.
You're coming for me, right? You're going to make the best you can. You're going to do what you can because you're going to retain your name in the world because you put in grit to protect it. You can't pussyfoot around and still have that level of competition because competition becomes fierce and you need to give back in the competition, which means you got to fuck someone. You got to motherfuck someone. You got to think down on someone. You got to talk shit. You got to protect your earning, right? So when these new people come in and they want, I have to work Monday, Friday, I usually get Tuesday off. Saturday, I can only work till 7. I've got to bring my mom to the vet for her cat shot every Thursday morning, so I can't work then. These options were never an option for us.
It's not an option.
But it is.
It's still not an option.
But it is, bro. But it is.
Not at my
It's
restaurant.
something that we're dealing
No?
with right now.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. but
Fuck. It is.
We work. That's something these kids need to understand. We work when everyone else is off. If everybody else is off work, we're feeding them. That's
That's
what we
right.
do.
That's
We're-
exactly
We're
right.
hospitality.
That's
we're
right.
making sure that their time off is enjoyable and that they can come and have somewhere to eat. And you're right. These kids are coming in there. "Oh, I need Saturday and Sunday off." Like, no. You work
Well,
the week.
that's what I tell them. So now it doesn't happen in my restaurant because I no longer employ them. But what I'm getting at is it happens all the time when you get you can't get a fucking solid resume without that.
Oh.
So therefore it does happen. We are fucked by it because I interview people. I just kind of stopped, man. But the bottom line is it's if you walk through that door for an interview and the first thing on your mind is what don't I do or what can I get away with not doing, that's the normal. And that's the pussification. You're more worried about what you don't have to do. What the fuck? How are you getting through life? How?
Very slowly. That's how they're getting through life.
Slowly. And their food sucks. They eat shit.
Walk out with that mentality, you might as well just walk right back out.
You know what pisses me off when I walk through Chick-fil-A and I see those fucking kids in the fucking checkout line busting their ass. And that line is going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And okay, we got it. They all figured it out. They got their little thing. But that fucking system Chick-fil-A has isn't shit without the employees running it. And you got those kids in there just running it. Are they getting are they working 4 days? Are they getting that there? What are they doing? What are we doing wrong here? Well, where's our line? You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense. And I look at that all the time because I'm going, man, they're paying these kids $15, $16 an hour to work. Check
$16 to start.
Yeah. So it's
$16
tough.
an hour. It's hard.
I mean, when I started washing dishes, what were we making? $5.25?
God.
I'm older than you. 425.
$4.25. $3.75 was my first minimum.
And I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. I was getting a paycheck. You know what I mean?
I remember my first.
And I love the mentality. It's like a pirate ship.
My first
know what I
sous
mean?
chef position was 38 grand a year. That to me, I was fucking on top of the world. I did it. I made it. I don't even need to be an executive chef. This is it. You know what I'm saying? This is it. 72 hours a week. Fucking
Yeah.
Go home busted, drunk. You don't even drink and you're drunk. How the fuck does that work? You know what I'm saying? Everything else that came with it, the fucking drugs, alcohol, the chicks, the pussy, the fucking fighting, the lack of.
I never
everything
did
else.
any of that stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
No,
I did it
not
all
at
for
all.
you.
So I might have done something with you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
right. Yeah, that's the crazy things happen, man, for sure. That does it scare you that attitude doesn't happen anymore? You know what I mean? Where's the partying? Where's the fucking fighting in the kitchen? People get mad and come to me. He said this about me. I don't like his attitude. I don't like her, the way she's talking to me. It's not fair. Motherfucker, go out there and do something about it, man. You know what I'm saying? And that is fun because that is what the kitchen mentality is to us. And I don't understand how it's happening without it.
It does happen. It's just far and few between now. It does happen. There's still a fight every once in a while. I got to break up.
It happens with me in my kitchen because I fucking really stir the pot.
Still is. There's
But
every once in a while.
I'm a pro.
Definitely less than it used to be.
I'm pro. Let's keep it old school, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, not so much at my place. I'm trying to
Skate.
keep it level.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Keep it
No,
copacetic.
I'm kidding when I say that. There's nothing better than a fucking solid team. My team right here, this one is really good and very copacetic at Luce downtown Norfolk. If that wasn't the case, we wouldn't be sitting here joking. We'd be fucking, we'd be over the kicker. But it really disheartens me to see that the trend of the kitchen and the Brigade system just being chipped away. You know what I mean? Because it is a special thing. It is a special place in the fucking community. It's a special place in the industry. That kitchen Brigade style is what made us who it is. It made us. It made us. It made the Culinary Institute of America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What else are they going to teach if they're not
Well,
teaching that?
To be honest about the CIA, I feel like they're not even teaching that style anymore. I feel like it's, I don't know.
Is it woke?
It's been a long time. It's been,
Yeah, it's been a long. I feel like
17, 20 years since I graduated, so who knows?
Is it woke?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been back.
I've been back once.
cold up there.
I feel like it's definitely a little different than it was when we were there.
So they were still pushing the drive that we're talking about. We're not
sure.
we're not-
Absolutely. We were there, absolutely. Very
Now,
strict,
what do you
very
think? Do you think that do you fear? I do. Do you fear at all if it continues going this way in this de-escalation? What's going to happen to the actual stress factor that is a guaranteed factor in any kitchen? If people can't handle that, what's going to happen? Are we going automated, mechanical?
Yeah, I think that's the route, to automate as much as possible.
So fine dining, white tablecloth,
How you
4
gonna automate-
courses.
How you going to automate?
How are you going to automate
How
it?
you going to automate the food?
But how else are you going to keep up?
Figures that out is an instant billionaire.
I also feel like just this may be a little bit off topic, but fine dining, I feel like is slowly kind of not going away, but I feel like if you can put out an amazing product, you still have the great chefs cooking in the kitchen, but not necessarily that fine dining atmosphere. I feel like people are kind of maybe shifting away from that white tablecloth.
So here's a funny thing on that, bro. I'm gonna disagree to agree to disagree here. I mean, I thought that same fucking way for a long time. When I opened up Luce downtown, I wanted to put all fucking high-end food on a wooden table. Less is more. That's what my mentality was, and it worked really well. And I agree with you. Your place works fucking great, man. That is great. When COVID came around and they allowed us to get dining at 6 feet apart, I was offered a part in my old 100-year-old building that was it used to be a hotel lobby, right? And the only way I could make that place work was to make it a reason to be up there. So that's when I said, let's make it fucking extravagant. Let's make it fucking beautiful. White tablecloths, fine dining, music, the event, right? And I said, let's make it. People are coming out in COVID. There's only fucking 11 tables allowed in this huge room. Let's make it something. So I made it fine dining. Best fucking decision I ever made, because I thought I was taking a huge risk, and people just fucking want it. They want it. They want to go get served. They want the breadcrumb. The crumbing. Oh my God, you guys are crumbing. I haven't seen this in so long. You know what I mean? Look, he's ironing the tablecloth right there next to us. These are things people now are drooling over, because I think, honestly, on the other end, it's coming back. I think it's going to be like the shopping mall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mall wasn't necessary, but now I think you're going to start seeing malls starting to come together. You know what I mean? Because people want to go be social. And they're lost that. We lost a whole generation of social. We lost a generation of service. We lost a generation of working hard for your money and not getting the proper payback. So when you come to a fine dining establishment now, I've learned through my people that they're getting a service that is so long gone that they feel like they're being pampered and treated in a way they've just been fucking neglected. They've been neglected. They're going to pay $75 for a steak on a wooden table with a fucking bottle of wine that's organically grown, and and that's cool. That's cool if that's people's stick. But when it comes to the fine dining, I think that we went through that trend, what you're saying, where it fucking just went away. Madison Park, all those huge restaurants had to shut down because of that, right? Mm-hmm. But I think now people are kind of wanting that to come back because they're fucking missing it. It was a trend not to have it, but I think now, from what I'm experiencing, we're doing 150 to 300 people a night here, and it's all based on a fine dining service. And I'm talking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Forget it. We have to open up our back room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we don't have a PDR, and people are ecstatic of getting the fine dining. So I'm hoping, because of my stick right here, that I'm right, but I definitely know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of my experience comes from just this past year we were in New York City. So we did, 8-course meal at Danielle.
Yeah,
Amazing,
beautiful.
right?
Amazing.
I mean, one of the best restaurants in the city.
Sure.
Yeah, and then the next night we go to the Foul Witch, which is in the East Village, or the West, whatever, East Village, West Village, and it was better than Danielle, but
Sure.
low lit, wood burning oven. I mean, just courses coming out kind of as they're ready, and that kind of vibe. I mean, they were packed, and you could not get a reservation for 2
And that
months
means,
out.
and I already know, without you saying another word, that fueled your ass because that's exactly your stick.
Right. Yes.
You got the wood fired oven, you got the low lights, you got that, and you're seeing someone else doing it. It gives you hope,
Right.
because you're like, these motherfuckers, we're alive,
Yeah.
and you are alive.
For sure.
Fuck yeah,
and you just, it's, and the fine dining, yes. But, Danielle wasn't as crowded. It wasn't as packed,
Touche. There's
so,
that.
There's that. But I feel like we're still struggling to find that niche as far as what people want. Obviously, you found it down here, if you're doing those kind of numbers.
The numbers are big right now. And
so-
I'm very honored. And, the team, everybody else who's helping it happen, making it happen.
Yeah.
It's a
Well, that's the thing,
consistent daily
You
routine.
have to have the team.
So you just said it is a niche between, I think John has your Princess Inn or your Kempsville location could be both at a flip and flip of a hat. You can flip that dining room over to be fine if you needed to for an event, or you can fucking be casual. Where do you find your
Originally, the first menu I wrote for Mannino's Italian Bistro was more fine dining because that's where I cut my teeth in fine dining. I worked for many years, but we looked at the economy. It was 2008 when we opened up.
Yeah.
So we looked at the economy, so we went a little bit more casual. Plus, I pulled the demographic up in the area, and the area said, man, it's not going to support the fine dining, I love a fine dining restaurant. I love the service. I love the way you've done everything here. But I can understand where he's coming from, because if you go into a place and they're charging you $125 a plate, you got to bring that shit. And
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
You do.
But I'm not charging those prices.
You're not.
So the niche he was talking about that I found is that we can bring that fine level of service at a casual mindset. You don't have to remove your hat when you come in here, okay? But you're
Right.
going to get a veal chop.
Which is great, because it's like, are those people looking for that experience plus food, and not having to feel like they're at Danielle or La Bernadette.
That's kind of where we tried to go with Mannino's in the beginning. We tried to go with fantastic food coming out, fresh ingredients, fresh product, cooked the same style I've always done it, but in a more casual atmosphere so everyone could come eat. It's affordable to the average everyday person. It's not just your special occasion restaurant.
So you're the top, and I can say this for actually more for you, but you're the top of your genre. You have a lot more people coming through. Your genre of people that come into you are exactly that, and it's fucking successful. And I go there. I go to your restaurant. I like it. That's where I go to get my food, and I definitely get yours. So I think that we're all kind of found our niche, and that's why we're all sitting here together and having this conversation, because we came from nothing, and we're pretty dominant in the area as far as our locality, as far as our restaurants. Because let's face it, if you can't admit that, then you're hiding something from yourself.
I think it kind of brings us full circle though too. You have such a great team of staff, and you set that example, and it's tough to do this every night and make sure it is on point.
Every night, yes, it's hard.
And so
there's a lot more
finding the right people to work in, finding the right staff to be at that front of the house to give those people the experience. For me, can I still give that, great food experience with great people in the back of the house and good people in the front of the house, but I don't have to worry about it being white tablecloth, and having people feel a little more relaxed coming in, where they're not looking like, oh, they didn't do this or they didn't do that, where I can still get away with a great experience, but not have to live up to that maybe white tablecloth.
There's a little bit of leverage. There's leverage, and there's room for forgiveness.
Right.
Without it, it comes down to the team.
Yeah.
The teams, and the non-pussified leaders of those teams.
Right.
Because that's really what it comes down to. We wouldn't be able to do this right now if everybody was stubbing their toes and going the fuck home because it hurt, or you know what I mean, or they didn't have enough gas in their car as the excuse of why they're fucking late. We would not be here, right? So filtering through those people and filtering the teams and finding the career people is harder than actually keeping it going.
Yeah.
So when they will come in with that fucking resume that says, I need this day off, this day, well, you're not going to be on this team. Perhaps you might want to go try that place over there. You know what I'm saying? Not yours or his, but Chick-fil-A or whatever it is. Go there. Try that, because you're not going to make it here.
And Sundays.
This is a pussy-free zone. We got to make sure we're fucking on. And my team and my staff in both locations are very proud of what they do. They do a really good job, and they're humbled, but they're also very confident. They're career people. I'm very fortunate in this one location specifically to have the career people I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep trying to reel them people from you. I'm not going to steal them.
Hey,
but
my team's amazing. It's just being able to keep that level up and be able to bring people in.
I can tell a team that's awesome, bro, is when their ego is not bigger than the people walking through the door. And whenever I walk in your place people instantly chef, how you doing? How's it going? Every one of them stop what they're doing and say hi. Your staff comes over and says hi. If they weren't into their job, it would be instantly different. They would have an attitude. They'd be like, fuck that guy. He thinks he's everything. And your people are the same way. When I walk in your place, they're fucking real people. And they're in there doing their job. All of them. They know what I want. They know what I like. They know what I drink because they pay attention. And I can see that in everybody.
Hospitality.
It's hospitality.
That's the industry you're in.
And that's right. Because you don't have a bunch of fucking pussies running around crying. They're all in there doing their due. You see
doing their job. They're doing
exactly.
Exactly.
Real quick, because I know you have to probably, we got to chime in and have to listen with this. How do you guys give those coming up the understanding, okay, right now this season, not some take it away. Here is open opportunity to take a face. I know.
How do you do it? You tell them. You tell them right now. You just tell them. I have lists on my door. Do not request these days off. It's the list for 2025. This day, this day, this day, this day, this day, this day. It's mandatory. Yeah. If you can't work them days, tell me now. Save us the fucking trouble. That's the end of it, right? If you're out there in the back taking a smoke break during an 8 o'clock rush, your smoke break just fucking went a very long time. You just earned yourself a real long smoke break. I hope you got a pack. You know what I mean? Because you're going to need them on your way home. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. There's certain times and certain plays. And if they don't understand that, Sony, right, they're not in the right place. They should have already known that. I am not a cooking school.
You set that precedent
right
when they walk through the door.
And when you hire your people, you should be filtering and vetting these people, knowing that they already know this stuff. This is not the place you come to learn how to saute. You better learn how to cook my recipes, and you should already know what a saute pan does. You should know what the oils do at what temperature. You should know what salt does and what granular of salt does at what temperature. You should know what you're trying to get when you're extracting fucking acid out of a fucking... These are things you should already know. When I tell you to go fucking make me, go make me a fucking... Any type of fuck, man. Now I'm having a brain fart of what to even ask for because it's so easy. If I tell you to go make me something simple as a hollandaise sauce, you should be able to make one. You don't need my recipe because there's only one. Just fucking make it proper, and then we'll go from there. Go, you know what I mean? Yeah. Go extract the fucking. Go make me a fucking blood orange extracted oil for me real quick. You should already know maybe how I do it, yes, but you should already know what I'm saying.
You have a basis for it.
The science of what's happening, right? If I tell you to go start a braise or, sear me off some fucking this for a braise, you should know what the hell I'm talking about. Go tie me off a fillet. Let's do that. And then we're going to get those lobster tails trimmed back. You should know already what we're saying. This isn't a school. This isn't a school.
Right.
Yeah.
So educated people, Sony, already know that. It's when they don't know that is when the big red flag goes off in your head like, fuck, you thought you can go smoke a cigarette right now? I'm fucked. You see what I'm saying? It's where did I go wrong here?
Well, they also just happened to come sous chef position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they're doing that shit. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
But you guys also have the same mentality as me. You lead by example.
Yes.
You're back there in the kitchen. You're banging pans,
every night,
grinding. You're doing the same thing. I did the same.
I will do everything.
That's why people will follow us. That's why people they'll stand next to us and go through it with us because we have the wherewithal, the ability to do it. So they respect us for that. And there's a lot of chefs that they'll come in, they'll say, all right, is everybody ready? And they'll go walk the dining room, they'll play around, they'll leave early, they do all this shit. We've gone through everything. I've seen you in the kitchen. I've seen you in the kitchen every time I've been over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time I see, every time. And, it's the employee bathroom, for instance. It's off the kitchen, of course, off the way out the kitchen. But I'll go in there, and there'll be times where I'll go in there and scrub that fucking thing because I'm sick of it. This is how you guys clean. This is what you think is clean. This is where you're going to clean yourself in my fucking kitchen. Hold my beer. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? I go in there and I'll scrub that thing head to fucking toe. Listen it. And it's only because I don't want to. I want it to start fresh again. So when I start yelling at them again, I knew it started from the fresh. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuse because I just did it.
And you're also not too good to do that.
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
That's
I am too good to fucking sit in a piss-riddled fucking toilet.
But
I am
setting that example. You're setting that example.
So you're saying you guys can't aim?
I'm saying that they must be squatting, bro.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh my God.
Not all. I mean, there's some squatting going on for sure. You know what I mean? They're pissing, fucking, they're sitting down. They gotta be. You know what I mean? And I don't know if the chicks are standing on the toilet, fucking straddling, making a fucking spray.
It's hovering.
Hovering, whatever you want to call it. But goddamn, I'll go in there after that. I ain't no fucking treat either. Don't let them fool you. You know what I mean? Holy shit.
Oh my God.
It's a luxury to have an employee back.
Casey, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It just went a whole other direction.
When it comes to the bathroom, the chicks ain't no saints, okay?
No, it's terrible.
It ain't
But I
working.
mean, and you guys are all back of house, so I was front of house, so it was a totally different story in the mentality behind the bar.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I've seen that downgraded so much in the past decade that it sometimes it disgusts me when I go into places because I'm
But
like,
is,
you're
it-
not.
is what we're talking about in the kitchen? That's a fucking huge point, man.
Yeah.
Is what we're talking about this pussification. People look at me like, man, be easy, dude. Times are changing.
No.
Things are different. Is it different from that side of perspective too? Because that's a big point. And so
Yeah.
when you're going to bars now and you're just looking around and you're seeing things, are you seeing it different too there?
Yeah.
Is there a pussification
Oh, I think so.
there?
I think so. I mean, you guys are all
examples.
dudes. I'm the only one with tits, so I can say this. But behind the bar, you put up with a lot of shit as a female. So you either have to work harder to ring as much as other people, make as much money or whatever, and prove a point with it. And I think when I was, in it, sexual harassment, we talked about the Me Too shit before. Like, I don't take offense to any of that. You can comment on anything all day long.
Is it sexual harassment when you're taking the tip?
Well,
when
it
you're
depends
accept-
how you're taking the tip.
Yeah. when you're accepting gratuity.
Staying out of this.
When you're accepting, hey, listen, when you're accepting gratuity, right?
Yes. It's a service.
It's a service.
Yeah.
Is it a Me Too thing then? Because you took the fucking money gladly, you shook them tits, and the guy now says
so you
something
can't
off.
complain 6 months later that somebody was like, I fucking you the whole time you're working and say they're a pig or whatever. You're wearing the low-cut shirt. You're sitting
You know
there
what you're
washing dishes in front of them. You are doing that to make more money. Don't downplay your sexuality because now you're embarrassed by it.
Right.
Because I never was ashamed of my sexuality. And John and I we worked together. I mean, we were at 456 several restaurants.
You were
And
behind the bar doing the Macarena.
yeah.
If she comes in the kitchen, 5 guys cut their finger and 2 guys burned themselves. Like, can you stay out of the kitchen for 5
Your
minutes?
dad was also always nice to me.
He was very nice.
He loved me.
Hey,
I don't think I ever had.
Astada
He's right at boob level, so
Yeah,
he's
Astada Funjats, bro.
He was a very friendly person, but we loved Dad. Like, he was fucking amazing. And I think it was, but also I did my job. I worked fucking harder than anybody else would, and I made the fucking money. And I never, you can't apologize for it. But what I see now is where people aren't working as hard. They're not hustling as hard behind the bar. They're not putting the extra effort in to doing things.
You think they're taking for granted that a tip's coming? So fuck
Yeah,
it.
I think people
You owe me
feel
20% of this
obligated.
tab, and that's that.
No, and it's not. And my goal was to, you don't want to just be average. You want to be more than average. You want to be a 30%, 50% tip person. So why?
average tip.
Yeah, why do you want to be average? And I think it's just sad to see that part. Nobody wants an average tip, John.
No.
You want above average. Above average. But I think it's just mentality because we were all very old school. We all came up through several restaurants where we had to do all the grunt work and all the other shit. And it just was different for me because in front of house stuff, like, we're making money right away. It was easier because you're already getting paid. And, you can make $300 to $600 a night by just wearing, a bra and a tank top.
So
it's
that
not
hustle,
that hard.
that hustle you're talking about, that
was
behind the bar hustle, that female drive of fucking being a boss bitch back there, knowing that you're showing your tits doesn't mean they're getting them.
No.
It doesn't mean that they're going home with them, but they're gonna remember it, and you're gonna get your fucking money, right? There's nothing wrong with that because you're not doing anything wrong. You're using what's real. You're selling alcohol. Sex sells. We all know that. Alcohol, it helps. Everything helps, right?
Yeah.
If look, it's obvious when God was giving out was giving out things, you didn't get in the ugly line. We all figured that out. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Thanks.
when guys go to fucking work in a bar and you're working back there, you can either sit there and give them an attitude, or you can capitalize on that, and that's.
But it all comes down to work ethic. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your background is. Work ethic is work ethic.
Work ethic is less now or more? What do you think?
I think it's way less. And I mean, but we all know this. Like, we came up in that. I grew up on a farm. Like, you work hard, and there was never an equivalent between male and female. It's just I had an advantage, and I took advantage of that to make more money. And I'm not ashamed of that, and I'll never be ashamed of that. I mean, when I first came here, I worked for Hooters. And that was my first restaurant job. And it was probably one of the best jobs I ever had because I learned so much about the marketing. I took time and learned about the business, how the kitchen was ran, and every restaurant we worked in together. Like, I learned how to cook, I watched everybody. And I can do it all. And I think that's just a difference of work ethic. Doesn't matter who it is now, but I think, the pussification part is we've lost that.
I don't get where these kids come off too, because what you're telling me, that just commands respect from everyone in the restaurant, that you know how to do this, you know how to do that. And wouldn't you want respect? Like
That's
coming
the
in,
problem.
like
No.
wouldn't you want respect?
That's exactly what I'm saying, bro. I don't think they
want
do.
to improve yourself. Like
I think they're just
it's like they just kinda
melancholy. They
slide
just like
by.
it. I just have enough money to
Some
pay my
people are
bills.
happy being average. I mean, if you want to be a restaurateur, if you want to get to where we're at, you have to learn every aspect of the restaurant, all of it, including her job, including the dish guy's job, including, bussing, waiting tables. You got to have wine knowledge, all that shit. You have to have all of it. You can't
Yeah.
make it without it. You know that. You know that.
Yeah.
You're not doing it without it.
Yeah. I just think that it is work ethic. I mean, and that's, degeneration of technology, people not thinking they have to do as much because they can make money online. It is a combination of all of it. But when you find places, like you guys all have good people at your restaurants. So you still have the professionals. I think that the pussification part of the restaurants that are downplaying that or not setting the standard are what's ruining the industry. So it's not the people who know what they're doing. It's people who are pretending or coming in with ego and just want something that's Instagram worthy. And I'm just going to have people in here who are influencers, snap photos, but they're gone in 6 months to a year. That ruins the rest of it because then those people lose their restaurant, they lose their job. They're trying to come work at somebody else's and they're bringing that mentality with them. So it's kind of like a virus. Like it's,
Yeah.
It hurts us because
Toxic
it's our
energy.
selection pool goes from here to here.
Yeah.
It dilutes it.
Also,
I worked at this place and this was,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's hard. It's hard when everybody that walks through this place, I have to call one of fucking probably 5 people. You know what I'm saying? What about this dude? What about this girl?
Yeah.
Of course, they don't have nothing good to say because the other 3 people I'm going to call shouldn't have to call them either, but I'm going to have to for a reference. And we all know what goes
Yeah.
on there. I mean, the pool is small here.
yeah.
But that's the way it is in any city because even if you have some of the best restaurants in the city, right? There's only going to be 4 or 5 of them. So that type of pool is still small. You know what I mean? You're not going to get 100 of those shitty restaurants are going to send up their best people. This isn't the fucking farm leagues. We're not calling them up from the bottom. You know what I mean? So it's hard to do all that. This is great talk. Now let me ask you guys a question about this. What do you feel about this social media and how it affects? Does it affect you at all? Does it affect your business at all? I'll start with you, John. What do you think? Does it affect you at all?
Social
Any good
media-
way, bad, or indifferent?
social media is great for us. If I post too many things, like I'm cooking here or doing that, the restaurant fills up. Now, you got to be careful with it because can your staff handle it?
Yep.
During COVID, it was fantastic for us because I switched over to different types of to-go boxes. I was promoting my to-go food. Italian food, it carries very well. We were lucky. We had to switch gears just like that. I mean, you understand.
Yeah.
We went through the same shit. So it was fantastic for us. It kept us alive. It made us through. But like I told my staff, we're getting so busy because I'm posting so much on social media that if they can't handle the influx and people are having a bad time, there's no point in me doing it. So I have to be really piecemeal with it now because it is very powerful. We have a lot of followers on our page. It's very, very powerful. So if I post I'm cooking, a grilled salmon dish here at this restaurant, 45 people are going to show up to want that dish. I better have 45 of them. And
That's the
you
problem.
know how it goes.
Yeah, dude, I get fucked with
You
it
know
all
how
the
it
time. How about you? How about that?
So I feel like as far as advertising, promoting the restaurant, I think it's great. But back to the topic of the podcast, pussification, I feel like it has created a whole group of people who feel like they should just be able to go into a restaurant and be this Instagram chef or
Fantasyland.
yeah, Fantasyland kind of. For promotional tools, great. But as far as making the industry stronger, I don't know. I just feel like it makes people delusional
Yeah,
to
it
what
does.
they can.
It's good for advertising, and that's all I've used it for. The downside I think to it is the comments. Some people that may have come in your restaurant and been on an off day, or their server had an off day, and they want to complain. Well, this place is terrible. It was horrible. It sucked. And I have the ability to contact those people and say, what happened? Who was your server? Can we make it right? Can we bring you back in and have a good time? Some people just want to complain about stuff.
Yeah.
Just erase their shit. Bye.
Yeah, just delete.
Bye. See you later.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with you on social media. I'm not a keyboard cowboy. I just erase it. Bye. See you guys.
Yeah.
Block.
So for me, the social media thing is a double-edged sword too. I agree with both you guys that it's on both of those things. My biggest thing is that it creates here's the thing. You can have 100,000 likes, okay? Good. Someone sits on their couch, they're reading your shit, they see your food, perfect. It's different to have 100,000 customers. You see what I'm saying? My likes come in the form of fucking customers. That's what I'm worried about. So I'll use social media to reach those customers. the potential customers, like you said, to advertise what we got going on, to talk about us as chefs, to fucking brag a little bit, to show out, to see what's coming up, and to put your fucking staff on blast and let them get some fucking light, whatever it may be. It's the other people, like you said, that it makes our industry look so fucking obtainable that it almost disqualifies it as serious. You see what I'm saying? It takes away because it makes it look like everyone is just as capable as the next guy to do what we do. And it's fucking not true. You see what I'm saying? When you sit on your couch and like somebody and follow somebody, that's cool, man. But are you getting that person off of their couch, putting their shoes on, getting in their car and coming to you? That's the reality.
True.
That's the reality. That's social fucking media. That's socializing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So social media has nothing to do with socializing in person. And that's where I like to capitalize. And the last thing I'll hit on this, guys, is the fucking social media stuff, because I like it. We're on it. This fucking thing's going on. I like it. I do like it. But I do see the flaws in it, and I do see the benefits of it. And when you benefit from it, it just benefits. But when you the flaws, I guess we're successful in what we do, so we can sit here and pin out all the flaws because we don't need to rely on it, right? We're just doing this because we like to talk. We get to get it out there. It's a good concept. Fucking the one that's getting me the worst, though, are these influencers.
Oh, God.
The influencers, bro, are the ones that get me, okay? Because let me tell you what an influencer does. And I'm not talking about the influencers that...
Like the good people.
No. I'm not talking about the companies. I'm not talking about that. Let's not get confused. I'm talking about the fucking person that walks through your door and tells the hostess, is there a seat at your bar? I'm an influencer. You're an influencer. Well, what the fuck influenced you to walk into my
all
place?
The time.
I'm just gonna look at you the same way I looked at you.
They want free shit.
And
bro, that's my question.
Full.
I asked the guy one time. You're influencing. Well, what influenced you to walk into my restaurant? Oh, it's great. I hear everybody talking about it. Oh, wait a minute. So who's the influencer here?
Exactly.
You're going to make a fucking show off of me is what you're trying to do. You're trying to get influenced. So am I the influencer? I'm the influencer here because something influenced you to come to me and get this fucking content. All right? So no, I'm not giving you a free fucking meal. No, you're not getting something to put something free on your influencing because I'm the one influencing you to fucking get a show here. How about you pay double because I'm going to give you some likes, motherfucker.
It's a weekly.
It happens a
daily.
lot. It
No,
happens a lot.
not daily.
No.
Weekly.
Yeah.
Weekly.
Check units up. I'll fill up.
Oh. Yeah, Sony wants to just pull up and see one in action, like see an influencer in the wild.
Well, no, I mean, there's influences out there now that benefit, okay?
Oh, no, they do.
So
yeah.
you got to vet them out. So when I sit there and ask them the question, so where's your page? What you got? How many followers you got? 1,200. Do you know I have 1,200 reservations between now and tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking
You're
about?
not helping me.
1,200 fucking reservations this week alone. You know what I mean? And they're not even on my follow on my page.
No.
So again, let me ask you something. What are you gaining out of this other than a free meal?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gaining shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have another influencer, if you vet them right, and they have 1 million followers, that's the person who's done their fucking work like we did, because no one got 1 million followers by not doing something.
Yeah.
So obviously, they are now influential. You see what I'm saying? There's a huge difference. So all you people out there, my tip to you is when your influencer comes in, don't be afraid to ask them what they do. What is your influence really? What do you do? Are you an influencer because you just have a phone and you're taking a picture of my beautiful place and seeing how many people like it because they've been there too? You see what I'm saying? Are you going to take a picture in front of the same picture that Pharrell gets his picture taken in front of because you know that you can relate now and you're cool too? It seems like you got influenced. I'm not getting influenced there. It seems like I'm the influencer. You know, and that may sound cocky as fuck, but it's goddamn true. If your influence is coming in here to get free meals, go somewhere else. Go influence somewhere else. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. If you don't have the things that are going to make the time it takes my staff to make your food, the time it takes the servers to serve you, the bartenders to wait on you, and then you're going to walk out here with a half-ass tip because you're a fucking influencer.
Yeah, you're not making any fucking money.
You didn't influence me enough to fucking make my whole staff 10 fucking to you for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I think you can tell really quickly people who are respectful of the industry and who aren't by who will pay the full fucking check.
Right.
Like, none of us would ever go into each other's restaurants and say, I expect you to give me something. That would never happen. You never ask for a discount. You don't expect someone to buy your fucking dinner. And that is the key.
I don't do it. Both of you guys can attest to this.
Yep.
I go on his night on industry night because it's fucking Sunday. That's my only night off.
Yeah.
And when they try and give me the industry deal, what do I say?
No.
I don't want it. I'm not here. I'm here to support you.
Yeah.
I'm not here for you to support me. I'm here to support you, bro. Same thing with you. He'll tell me, don't pay for it. Just take the money because now I'm giving it to your server.
Yeah.
Just put it in the food cost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to not
Nobody
pay
expects
someone
that.
here is getting this money. I didn't walk through this door. I'm here to support you or your staff. You know, and I appreciate the gesture, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to support you. You
And
know
if
what
we
I'm
have a shot, that's great. But that's just the icing on the cake.
saying? Yeah. There you go. Give me a shot and I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's cool. And do it with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is fucking great stuff. What would you do? Let me ask you a question here. I'm not going to ask the typical bullshit question. What's your favorite thing to cook? I'm not going to say that because that thing changes
Chicken
all the fucking
parmesan.
time.
Side of pasta.
I can tell you. Right. People ask me, what's your favorite thing to cook? Whatever I'm not cooking for you. That's my favorite thing to cook because I don't have a favorite thing to cook. But there are techniques and there are things that you get off on when the result comes out. Do you have one of those? It could be anything from pulled mozzarella to something. There's something that goes on that when
Like
you fucking
visceral?
accomplish it, you feel good about it. Not per se a dish, but there's something. What could you say that is?
Man, it could be so many different things. I mean, I've cooked so many styles. Now, in the late,
In the late. Sure.
In the late?
In the late. Yep.
I like to crack a beer, light a fire, take the coals, throw it in my barbecue trailer, load some butts up with my secret rub. You're not getting the recipe. And just let
Secret rub.
it roll 16 hours, and at the end, pull that thing apart, put a little bit of sauce on it, eat it in the sandwich. That's it. That's
That. So the method of that
slow cook.
and
I
the
love
slow
it.
cook.
I love it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
That's you.
for me, it kind of similar. You know, it's any cheap product I can take and slow cook, braise, and it comes out absolutely perfect. You know, like a shank or like a short rib or something like that, and just it's absolutely money. Where it's not too overdone, but it's just falling off the bone, delicious. I mean, that for me, that's cooking. You know what I mean? That's cooking.
This is a fucking sign of the times.
Yeah.
We're getting old. Because I'm the same fucking way. All the sous vide, all the gastro stuff, making the fucking goddamn balsamic pearls and the fucking cucumber caviar, all that stuff, all the fucking, all that micro, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. It was fun for this long and where it lasted. The sauteing, the creating, the fucking meat glues, the goddamn stacking, the rolling, the roulades, all that stuff was all amazing, man, and it made me who I am today. But to me, nothing better than exactly what you guys are saying is creating. For me, in my sense, I love to create a new style or variation of a slow-cooked ragu. That to me is the most fucking entertaining thing. Or if I take something that doesn't belong, like something I've been trying to work on, like my meatballs. I'm stoked on my meatballs right now. They fire.
They're
I'll
amazing.
challenge everybody right now. My meatballs are on right now. I got
Challenge
this.
accepted.
Okay.
Uh-oh, challenge.
I like it.
Challenge.
I didn't bring any
meatballs.
No, this is what we're gonna do now.
We're gonna
okay,
do another
Kristen?
episode
We're
of
gonna do an
this.
episode, and we're gonna have a fucking meatball off, and you're gonna be the judge.
Oh,
Love it.
All right.
John,
And
you
it'll be
ready?
fun.
Go balls to the
It'll
wall.
be fun, bro.
Balls to the wall, baby.
This is one man that I can tell you, I wouldn't mind losing to.
This would be good. This
Agreed,
would be
same,
really
same.
good.
I wouldn't mind losing to you because I
Okay.
fucking eat at your restaurant, and if I lose to you, it means I fucking judgment is proper. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome.
Okay.
And I know you could probably pull it off. Let's do this. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, this could be fun.
This will be fun.
Yeah.
And
I'm in.
it's not a loss anyway. It's a fucking it's an amazing,
Two
it's an
guys
amazing
cooking
thing.
together. Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but it'll be fun if we sit here and do it. And I'm talking about 1 pound. Huh? 1 pound.
You set the rules
1
now.
pound, bro.
Pound?
Because you know how to
I make a
it.
60-pound batch.
So do I.
Pound.
That's why.
Okay.
That's why we're gonna break
Make
it
it
down.
interesting.
How am I even gonna? There's a pound of garlic in my
1 pound.
1
Okay.
pound.
1 pound,
Challenge
bro.
rules.
All right.
Challenge
1 pound of
rules.
meat.
1 pound of meat. What type of meat? We want to go Wagyu or we want to go regular chuck?
Let's go Wagyu, pork, and lamb.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. We're getting special. Huh?
3 different types of meatball.
Because I
Three
brought it
different
down.
styles
I
of
see what
cooking.
you're doing. You
3 different
fucking
styles of
savage.
cooking.
You're a savage.
Yeah.
Okay.
3
Pork,
different
lamb.
meatballs, 3 different styles of cooking.
Oh, 3 different meatballs or 3 in 1 ball.
3 different.
You got to remember, we're on a show. We got to make this time constricted. We got to
Do it. We can do it.
So you're talking about
It's TV magic.
3 meats, 1 ball.
3
3 meats, 1 ball. That's
I
a
don't know why-
T-shirt.
I don't know if I should agree to this.
I know.
But
So do you want it blended or separated?
3
Let's
balls,
just-
3 meats.
3 balls, 3 meats.
3 separate.
3 different
separate ones.
techniques.
All right,
Don't-
2 balls.
Yeah, this
2 balls.
is going somewhere.
Okay.
4 different meats.
Lamb, veal, pork, beef.
Yep, and you can do whatever you want with either of them.
Lamb, veal, pork, beef. Are we writing this down?
We got it recorded.
Guess what? It's recorded.
You're fine. It's actually recorded for prosperity.
All right, so that's fun stuff.
All right, yeah.
John
Okay.
Mannino.
Okay, so Clint,
I'm judging this.
Clint, you're ready to have both chef's balls in your mouth?
Yes.
Okay.
To me, babe.
I knew that was
Give it. That's 2 balls. I know what's gonna happen. We're gonna. Okay, I got.
This will be a good
All
time.
right, this is
for
coming
Hit
up.
the Road.
Season 2, episode 3, maybe, just so we can plug it. This is gonna be good stuff. I like it.
Okay, I like
All right,
it.
so for me, the slow braised ragouts, I like to take the chucks. I like to take the old cuts of meat. I'm doing things now with pork belly.
Time and technique, man.
Time and technique. I just love that.
Lost art, yeah.
The
The brains is
tomatoes.
lost
I love
art.
the breakdown. All that shit. And then you take that pasta, and when that shit's done, you can taste, you know what's going to happen. And right before I even put the fucking slow cook on, the braise on, I'll taste it as I put it together, and I'll know what's coming. I can tell what this fat's going to do because it ain't in there yet, and it still tastes right. The acid of everything is good. The fucking garlic's talking to me. Everything's working right. And even in a braise and a fucking, if you're doing the short ribs or whatever it may be, man, I'm braising wild boar shoulders now on the menu. And I just love it, man. I love it. And I guess
Nothing
that's
more satisfying than pulling something out of the oven after 3, 4, 5 hours.
yes.
And
It
it's
is.
right.
Oh, it's perfect.
And I am
Sauce
also
down perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
I am also gaining a new love for an old hated thing, and that's a fucking good fucking demi. I'm starting to fucking get into that because it's along the same lines of that slow process. The older I get, the more slow I want to be with it.
That's the light.
So, anyway,
Keep going. Keep.
the
All right.
yeah. So that's it, man. We're all on the same page, and that's a wonderful thing, man. I was hoping you guys were going to say something like that. Nothing crazy, like there's nothing better to me than hot rock searing a fucking half a
No,
piece of
no.
salmon with
I
fucking
think you
water.
like
I'm not
properly.
free.
Well,
frying
catch me
it.
on a
Caviar. I'm not doing
Bro,
it.
I see these guys putting a piece of fish on a fucking thing and putting boiled water over, and the skin goes up, and they're like, "This is how you do it."
11 flowers on
not.
top of it. No, that's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Wow.
It's
Not my
it's
jam.
for somebody, but it ain't for me.
You kind of reached the climax at that point.
Yes,
Yes.
I've already passed.
think
that
you're all
crap.
good.
We've already done all that. We've already tried to use the fucking swirls and the fucking splatters. It is what it is. So, let me tell you what. This has been a fucking amazing fucking time, man. The time is going on, and I love it, bro. I appreciate you guys coming.
Appreciate
where's
you having
that
us. Cheers.
Look, we're gonna do this challenge.
All right.
We got the best judge in the fucking business. He knows his fucking meat. You know what I mean? Dinner's dangling with this guy. So, ciao for now.
Cheers.